my great pleasure to introduce Angela Yvette Rolle.
Good evening, everyone. By a show of hands, how many of you in here, whether major or minor, have faced a setback or a failure? So everybody in here raised their hands. Here is some comfort for you. Some of our major leaders, deceased and alive, have faced setbacks. Oprah was fired from one of her jobs earlier on in her career. Walt Disney has so many failures and was told he lacked creativity. Steve Jobs was fired from a company he founded, and Michael Jordan was cut from his sophomore basketball team. Yet we know Oprah as a billionaire, charismatic, transformational leader. We know Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. For all you LeBron James fans out there, we can argue this point afterwards. We know Steve Jobs as the pioneer of the Apple product, and we know Walt Disney as, well, everything Disney. These leaders have proven that setbacks happen in life, but you must be valiant enough to pick yourself up and be the success that you were meant to be. I want to tell you a quick story about a young lady I knew who at the age of 18, right out of high school, opted to get married instead of going to college. Because of her decision, she was told by someone very close to her that she wouldn't be anything, that she wouldn't amount to anything, and that she wouldn't graduate college. Due to her choices, this young lady suffered financially, physically, and emotionally. Around 2010, when she started seeing her high school friends graduate from college, she felt a sense of that was supposed to be her. So she started to doubt herself and think what was told to her, that she would be nothing. So she enrolled in college for all the wrong reasons, just to prove the doubters wrong. And it showed in her work. She was failing out of classes and withdrawing from classes. And at that time, her and her husband were in a rock bottom place. They were sharing sandwiches off the dollar menu, sometimes going without. They had lights cut off on them. They had to live in motels sometimes because they didn't have any place to call home. And they were in a financial crisis. I'll update you about this young lady at the end, but I want to talk to you briefly about not letting setbacks define you and how it applies to leadership. One thing for sure in life is setbacks will happen. I don't care about your ethnicity, your age, any of that. They will happen. And the sad reality is setbacks have the capability of drowning you, making you feel less than, discouraging you. Some even fall into depression, and it can put you in a state of confusion to wonder, why me? But on the contrary, setbacks have the capability of building character, substance, humility, compassion, and experience. I'm here to tell you, don't allow your setbacks you experience to define you, but let the comeback from the setback define you. Let how you conquer the situation define you. How can you overcome? Well, first, stay positive. If you keep positive thoughts, you will have a positive attitude, which will produce positive actions. You know how sometimes we can sob, cry me a river, woe is me. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Positivity will make you see the blessing in what you thought was a curse. Second, stay in the fight. Take those stumbling blocks being thrown at you and build on them. All those stumbling blocks are setting you up for a higher purpose. Persevere through the trials and tribulations of life. And last but certainly not least, love yourself enough to want better for yourself. Don't allow yourself to stay in a state of complacency and satisfaction. Self-love is so essential to development. And then after you have done all that, go out into the world and share how you overcame. Strengthen the person next to you, because everybody in here is fighting some kind of battle. One thing about overcoming your own personal setback is you won't have to tell someone else's success story, but you'll be able to tell your own success story. When something defines you, it becomes who you are. It's what you are described as to people. It's the definition of you. So I ask, what do you want to be defined as? Your setback or how you overcame the setback? Now you may be sitting in your seats wondering what the setbacks have to do with leadership. Today, you all will be inducted into the National Society of Leadership and Success, where many doors and opportunities will open for you. As leaders in whatever industry you may enter, you will face challenges every single day. You will have to try new things, and with new things, failures and setbacks will likely transpire. You may miss a deadline on a project, or you may be told no 1,000 times. As leaders and future leaders, you will be looked to for guidance, inspiration, and support. You will have people looking at your every move, watching how you maneuver through adversity, and monitoring how you react to pressure. Think back on a setback you overcame in your personal life, and think about how that personal setback will prepare you for your leadership roles. If you think about it, your personal setback has prepared you for whatever leadership role you will enter. If you think about it, your personal setback has set you up to be the best leader you can be. The leader people look to when things aren't going right. The leader people look to when they need change. The leader people look to when they need motivating. Because we are the motivators, the hype man on stage. Walt Disney has so many failures, you can't even name them all. Yet he overcame to be a leader still talked about 50 years after his death. And let's be honest, who can imagine a life without Disney? To close, remember the girl I was telling you about earlier? You know, the poor, depressed girl who was told she wouldn't be anything? Well, she will be graduating college this December and furthering her education. She is still happily married to the same person. She has her own business with a podcast providing counseling to couples on how to manage adversity. She's also currently writing her first book. She has conquered the setbacks that she once allowed to define her. She still has a long way to go to fulfill her dreams, but she now defines herself as a warrior, a champion, a leader. She is me, standing here in front of you tonight with the opportunity to encourage you from my experience and the wisdom that I gained. As I'm speaking, I'm reflecting back on my journey and how I'm thankful that I never gave up on myself and how I wouldn't be the person I am today. If I didn't have the setbacks I had in my life, and if I didn't overcome those setbacks, I wouldn't be able to stand here and passionately tell you to never let anybody tell you you can't do something. Don't allow your setbacks to defeat you. And remember that as leaders, it is inevitable that you will face challenges. Beth Brooks said, setbacks are just learning experiences. I encourage you all tonight to leave with the attitude of no matter what I face, no matter what setbacks I have in my life, and no matter how hard things may get, I am a conqueror, a courageous leader, ready to fearlessly tackle life. And what defines me is not my situation, but how I handle the situation and how I treat people along the way. I wish you all much success in your future endeavors, and I thank you.
Wow, just wow. Let's have another round of applause for us. In fact, can I have our two speakers come join me on the stage, please? We would just like to express our appreciation for their time and their talents tonight and their words of inspiration, so hopefully they'll accept our little token of appreciation.